There is a stretch of land in southern Nevada where the road seems to lose purpose. The pavement cracks, the signs disappear. The horizon stretches so far it almost feels fake, like you're staring at a painting instead of a real place. This is the Nevada desert. Dry, silent, empty, but not forgotten. Because hidden beyond the ring of mountains, past warning signs, motion sensors, and unmarked patrol vehicles, there is a place that wasn't meant to exist in public conversation. A place that for decades the government refused to even acknowledge. Area 51. Yes, Area 51. Officially, it was a military testing facility. Unofficially, it became the center of one of the most terrifying mysteries on Earth. Because for decades, people driving through that desert reported things no human should ever see. Lights moving without sound, objects hovering over mountains, black triangles blotting out the stars, and figures watching from the darkness. Some believed it was secret technology. Others believed it was something far worse. But almost everyone who went searching for answers came back saying the same thing. There is something deeply wrong out there, and the desert knows it. Long before fences and warning signs surrounded Groom Lake, the land already carried an unsettling reputation. Native stories from the region spoke about strange lights crossing the mountains at night. Travelers described hearing sounds echoing through empty valleys where nobody lived. The desert itself felt unnatural, too silent, too still. At night, the darkness became absolute. No cities and no streetlights, only endless black land stretching beneath the stars. Then, the military arrived. In the 1950s, during the Cold War, the United States government needed somewhere isolated, somewhere secret enough to hide aircraft experiments from the Soviet Union. They found Groom Lake, an empty dry lake bed hidden between mountain ranges. Perfect for secrecy, perfect for disappearing things. Construction crews arrived first. Workers later described the experience like entering another world. Temporary buildings rose from the dust. Runways stretched across the dry lake. Security appeared almost immediately. Nobody was allowed to ask questions. Nobody was allowed to talk about what they saw. Even the workers' families often had no idea where they had gone. The government gave the place innocent nicknames, Paradise Ranch. But men who worked there quickly learned the truth. There was nothing paradise-like about it. So what was the first thing people saw? In 1955, a strange aircraft began appearing above the Nevada desert. At first, civilians thought they were hallucinating. Silver objects gliding silently at impossible heights. Bright lights moving across the twilight sky. No commercial plane could fly that high back then. No ordinary aircraft looked like that. People panicked. Reports flooded local police stations and military offices. Some witnesses swore they saw flying discs. Others described glowing cigar-shaped craft. A few believed the world was already being visited by extraterrestrials. But the government said nothing. Years later, officials admitted many of those sightings were actually early spy planes being tested in secret. The U-2, the A-12. Aircraft so advanced for their time that ordinary people genuinely mistook them for alien machines. But that explanation created another problem. Because if those planes looked impossible in the 1950s, what was being tested there now? The closer people got to Area 51, the stranger stories became. Hunters, campers, truck drivers, tourists. Many described seeing white pickup trucks watching them from distant ridges. No markings, no license plates, no sound. Sometimes the trucks appeared suddenly beside roads where no roads should exist. Other times, people claimed they were followed for miles through the desert. One man later described parking near a mountain overlook after midnight, hoping to spot strange aircraft. He said the desert was completely silent. Then, without warning, every hair on his body stood up. He looked across the valley and saw headlights. A white truck sat motionless on a ridge nearly half a mile away, watching him. The man claimed the truck had not been there seconds earlier. Then a spotlight exploded across the desert floor. He fled immediately. Years later, he still refused to return. In 1978, a truck driver traveling a lonely stretch of Nevada highway reported one of the most disturbing encounters connected to Area 51. The road was empty. No other vehicles, no lights for miles. Then he noticed something strange ahead. At first, he thought it was the storm clouds crossing the stars. But the shape moved, slowly, silently. The object drifted directly above the highway. The driver later described it as enormous, triangular, blacker than the night sky itself. No engine noise, no flashing lights, nothing. Only a faint, low vibration he claimed he felt in his chest more than he heard with his ears. He stopped the truck. The object hovered overhead for nearly 20 seconds. Then it accelerated. Not like an airplane. Not like anything human. The driver said it vanished so quickly his brain struggled to process what he had witnessed. Years later, he still refused interviews. Friends claimed he became paranoid after the encounter. He reportedly began sleeping with lights on inside the house. I mean, I would too, wouldn't you? Then came the story that changed everything. In 1989, a man named Bob Lazar appeared on TV claiming he had worked near Area 51 at a hidden facility called S4. According to Lazar, the government possessed alien spacecraft. Not rumors, not fragments. Entire vehicles. He claimed scientists were attempting to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology, and the details he described terrified people. Small seats supposedly designed for non-human beings. Metallic craft with no visible engines. Machines capable of manipulating gravity itself. Lazar claimed the craft moved in ways no human technology could reproduce. But the most frightening part wasn't the spacecraft. It was the implication. If Lazar was telling the truth, then the government had hidden proof of non-human intelligence from the world for decades. And somewhere beneath the Nevada desert, those things were still there. Critics attacked Lazar immediately. Some called him a fraud. Others insisted he was telling the truth. But whether believed or not, his story permanently transformed Area 51 into something darker than a secret military base. It became a place where humanity may have buried forbidden knowledge. Forbidden knowledge or not, as the legend grew, people began traveling into the desert, specifically hoping to see something. Most saw nothing, but not everyone. A group of college students once parked near the border of the restricted land after hearing stories about the mysterious lights. At first, the night seemed normal. Cold wind, dark mountains, and silence. Then one of them noticed something above a ridge. An orange light hovered motionless in the sky. Then another appeared beside it. Then another. The lights reportedly moved together in perfect synchronization. No sound, no blinking aircraft indicators, nothing. The students watched for nearly 3 minutes before the light suddenly shot upward and vanished. One student later described the experience as deeply wrong. Not exciting, just wrong. He said the lights moved like they weren't obeying normal physics. People who spend enough time near Area 51 often describe an identical feeling, the sensation of being watched. Not occasionally, constantly. even during daylight. The mountains seem too quiet. The air feels heavy. Every sound carries strangely across the valley. At night, the feeling intensifies. Some visitors claim the darkness near Groom Lake feels different from ordinary darkness, oppressive, almost physical. Several campers reported hearing footsteps outside tents despite finding no tracks afterward. Others described distant metallic noises echoing across the desert. A few claimed they saw figures standing on ridges far away before disappearing. Could all of it be paranoia? Possibly, but the human mind reacts strongly to isolation, especially in places filled with fear and expectation. And Area 51 has become saturated with both. Over the decades, Area 51 became home to aircraft so advanced they seemed impossible. Stealth fighters, experimental drones, reconnaissance vehicles. Technology decades ahead of public knowledge. When the first stealth aircraft flew over Nevada, witnesses thought they were seeing alien spaceships. Black angular shapes gliding silently through the night. No visible markings, no ordinary flight patterns, and that raises a terrifying possibility. If the government already possessed technology capable of convincing civilians they were witnessing extraterrestrials, what exists there now? Some researchers believe Area 51 may contain aerospace systems still hidden from the world. Others think the alien rumors themselves were encouraged intentionally. Because if civilians focused on UFO stories, they might never realize what human beings were actually building in the desert. One of the strangest confirmed realities connected to Area 51 is something many people never notice. Unmarked passenger planes. White aircraft with a red stripe. They leave Las Vegas daily, carrying workers into the Nevada desert. No public schedules. No ordinary passengers, only authorized personnel. The airline is unofficially known as Janet. Thousands of workers have reportedly flown into secret facilities over the years. Think about that. Entire lives spent inside hidden programs beyond public knowledge. Who do they see every day? What are they forbidden from discussing? And why do so many former workers refuse interviews completely? Some believe fear keeps them silent. Others believe loyalty does. But conspiracy theories argue something else. That the people inside Area 51 know the truths the public would never be allowed to hear. One encounter from the 1990s still circulates among UFO researchers. A woman driving alone near Rachel, Nevada claimed she saw strange lights descending towards the mountains near Groom Lake. At first, she assumed they were aircraft, but the lights stopped suddenly in midair. Then they began moving side to side at impossible speed. She pulled off the road and watched. The lights formed a triangle, hovered motionless, then shot upward so rapidly she reportedly screamed. The woman later said the experience terrified her because the movement looked intelligent, deliberate, like something was aware she was watching. For years afterward, she avoided driving that highway at night. Then strangely, the mystery became a joke. In 2019, millions of people online joked about storming Area 51 to quote-unquote see them aliens. Memes flooded the internet. People laughed, but military officials did not. Warnings were issued, security increased, and beneath the humor was something unsettling. Even after decades of ridicule, people still genuinely believed Area 51 might hide non-human secrets. That belief never disappeared. Because the base itself continued expanding. New structures appeared in satellite images. New hangars, new runways, more secrecy. And occasionally, more sightings. So what if the worst stories are true? There are theories about Area 51 far darker than alien spacecraft. Some believe recovered technology was used to develop weapons beyond public imagination. Others claim experiments involving radiation, advanced propulsion, or psychological testing occurred there. There are even whispers about underground facilities extending deep beneath the desert floor. Miles of tunnels, hidden labs, buried chambers no outsider has ever seen. No evidence confirms those stories, but the secrecy breeds mythology. And Area 51 has remained secret long enough for fear to grow its roots. So just imagine standing alone outside the perimeter. Midnight, no moon, mountains black against the horizon. The wind dies completely. For a moment, there is no sound anywhere. Then you see it, a light above the ridge, orange, motionless, watching. It slowly moves sideways. Then another one appears beside it. No engines, no sound, no explanation. Your pulse quickens. You tell yourself there must be a rational answer. Military aircraft, drones, optical illusions. But deep down, something ancient inside your brain begins screaming that what you're looking at is not normal. And maybe that feeling is the true power of Area 51. Not aliens, not conspiracies. Fear. The fear of standing at the edge of something you cannot understand. So why does Area 51 still terrify people? Most mysteries eventually fade. Area 51 never did. Because unlike ghost stories or urban legends, part of the mystery is undeniably real. The secrecy is real. The classified projects are real. The surveillance is real. The government denial was real. That means somewhere inside all the mythology lies a core of truth. And people cannot stop wondering where reality ends and nightmare begins. Maybe Area 51 contains only advanced aircraft. Maybe every strange sighting has a logical explanation. Or maybe, somewhere beyond the mountains and warning signs, humanity discovered something it was never prepared to find. And if that is true, then the most frightening thing about Area 51 is not what people claim to have seen in the sky. It is the possibility that the government looked at it too and decided the world should never know. So I guess we'll never know. And this is it. This is all I have for you today. Thanks again for listening. So, what did you think? Has anyone camped outside Area 51? Or when are we going to storm Area 51? Let me know. Just kidding. But if you've experienced anything extraterrestrial in your life, please let me know in the comments. I am very interested. And if you've made it this far, please like and subscribe. And thanks again. Until the next one.